Well, hello, 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 my Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Twin Flame reading for February 2020. January, February, I'm doing this the last few days of January, getting this done so that I can take some personal time for EBOOK, the second Sabbath in the Wheel of the Year. Yeah, I'm going to take a few days off after this, get ready for EBOOK Tide, do a little candle magic. Oh, and I am going to be live streaming in my Facebook group, Mark Angelo Lyons Mal for short, which, by the way, if you're new to my channel, I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons Mal for short. It's like there's an echo. President of DrawingTheCircle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and actually very, very happy to be doing these readings for you today, considering I'm also a Pisces moon. Now, I'm not currently aware of any twin flame contracts that I'm in right now. Just got out of a really long-term one, so I'm going to kind of coast with this. The blessing of the cards were really, really cool. It's my last reading, the only one I'm doing today. I have clients. Actually, I'm also taking clients tonight and tomorrow, which I'm trying to do. I'm trying to set aside days to just like either record or do clients, but I've had a lot of emergency pop-ups this week, so you do the best that you can. Also, if you are new to my channel, please do like and subscribe. I'm making my way to 1,000 subscribers so that I can do super live chat, monetize, and all that kind of cool, funky stuff. You know, they set your goals for you, and you go for them if you want them, and I do. But I have made a promise to my subscribers that once I get, I'm able to do all that, I'll do a little ditty once a month or so called Drunk Tarot. There's a link in the description box below explaining what Drunk Tarot is, and if you watch it, you'll probably want to like and subscribe to the channel because I'm a lot of fun, and it will be a lot of fun. That being said, let's get down to this reading at hand. This is a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs. Can't be nailing everybody's everything 24/7 on YouTube. It doesn't work like that. The best, even the most clearest, accurate reader can do is bring through the information in as general a theme as possible with enough detail in it so that the individuals in the quantum zodiacal field can pinpoint for themselves pieces of personal correspondence, right? But it's not going to be the same for everybody. You just can't please all the people all the time, right? So that's why check your other signs and pay attention to how things feel in your body as the readings go. I mean, you're Pisces, I'm Pisces moon. I can tell, I can tell if it's just like, meh, it's not for me, even if it makes sense up here. You know what I'm saying, right? Right. So just keep that in mind. General reading. You want more specifics? Book me. Plenty of people are, and making it all fit. That's what I mean by professional intuitive. That's what I do. This is what I do. It's not like I have to go ask some other boss if it's okay. No, I'm my own boss. Moving along, this is a twin flame contract read. Really important to clarify this, unless you've been with me for a while there, but for the people new to the definition that I'm working with, there are some videos in the description box below as well about the new definition. Now, I don't know if it's a new definition or the way it's always been, and we've had some confusion, particularly the conflating or the connecting of twin flame and soulmate as the same thing. They're not the same thing. Well, they are in the same category in that they are both soul contracts, pre-incarnational agreements that you make, right? You're chosen as a soul to play the role in the body that you're in, and these relationships are just written into the script of the divine plan, and so you agree to them on a certain level. But the difference between twin flame and soulmate is kind of important. The soulmates are really the ones that we want, right? And we have more than one, and they're not purely romantic sexual either. My mother is my soulmate, but I'm working towards manifesting in my life the romantic, sexual, intimate, yummy, delicious life partner soulmate, like so many are. We've been trying for it for, what, thousands of years? How many lifetimes? And we just figured out psychology in, what, the past 200 years or so? So, we're getting there little by little by little. But the soulmate contracts, you help each other heal. That's the foundation. You help each other heal. The twin flame contracts, They're there to teach you how to heal yourself, to teach you how to love yourself. Why? Because the twin flame contract is about transformation, hence fire, right? Twin flame, the element of transformation. You can't unburn a cookie, honey. These relationships, they transform you for good, right? And even if you don't see that they do, that it's all about the evolution of the soul, right? So it's a soul contract. But in that, because they can't give you the love that you want, they may very well give you the love that you need, which is sometimes the tough love, or what have you, however it plays itself out. But then as you learn to love yourself, right, you learn to parent that heart of yours, that innocence of yours, like the inner child that it is. You become the mate of your own soul. And then you become a soulmate, which then you're ready for that next level of soulmate contract. See, so you need them both. And you have them. I mean, so many of my friends have been soulmates. We help each other heal. As well as I've had all sorts of people in my career that were just twin flames from hell, even though there was no romantic, sexual, whatever. You with me? Cool. So this is a twin flame contract so that you can learn how to heal yourself in whatever the relationship the contract points at. Cool, cool. Whether it is romantic or not, it doesn't matter for twin flames. They're all teaching you the same thing in different variations of a theme. Good? Last thing. Second to last thing. We're going to do a contract read, party number 1, party number 2, just saying divine feminine, divine masculine. Energetic dynamic has nothing to do with bodily gender. I have to say it every time because people are sensitive, and I get it, right? I totally respect that. But again, I'm not talking about Y chromosome or lack thereof. When I'm talking divine feminine, I am in a genetically masculine male body, but I consider myself predominantly divine feminine. Let's say 60% feminine to 40% masculine. Some of my friends are probably laughing. They're like, really? 60-40? Did you think more like 70-30? 75-25? You can feel it. But we're all fluid in that balance, right? Put me with the right guy and I'm, you know, top daddy top, and just happens, we're gonna say, but not what I'm reading. Cool, cool. Last thing, please breathe. The more we breathe and stay in the present moment, the better the readings get. I tune to the still point. That still point. Oh, that's where the divine is. You're doing the same. We're all tuning to the same divine guidance and grace and prana and chi and all of that at the same moment, even though we are separated by the illusion of time and space. We're tuned into the same energy and reading it simultaneously. You ready? Nice deep breath, my Pisceans. Let's do this. Oh, all the decks that I read are in the description box below. We're going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype deck. One for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine. Oh, here we go. Nice deep breath. Still point. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Mine too, if necessary. I am the Pisces moon. Please, 2 cards. One for the divine feminine and one for the divine masculine in this Pisces collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract for January, February 2020. Though timeless, whenever they're supposed to see it is when they're supposed to see it. Please, one for the divine feminine in the contract and one for the divine, masculine. That felt good. What was that? A little heart went aflutter. Okay, we've got our happy couple, our twin flame couple here. Before I flip these over, keep in mind archetypes are neutral. They are soul patterns. They are soul powers, aspects of not just the contract written into the character that you play in this life, which is a good way of talking about your personality, right? The character that you play, but also something that the soul came in to develop through this. So what I mean by neutral is that there's a balance of shadow and light in it. Like I just did the percentage with the feminine, masculine, except the shadow is the lead, is the toxic, the pain in the ass thing, and the thing that needs to be healed, moving towards the light, the gold, the healthy aspect. Cool. So now before I flip these over, feel out which one do you resonate with. Are you going to identify divine feminine or divine masculine? But remember, it's a twin flame contract, so there might be a lot of mirroring going on. You can even see this as a mirror of your own masculine, feminine, if you want to work it that deep, because you can. It's holographic. Ready? Here we go. Who's our couple? Oh boy. We've got the Divine Feminine Martyr, great fun, and the Divine Masculine Mentor. Now, the funny thing about the Martyr is that reason, season, or a lifetime, everybody hits Martyr space every now and again, and I gotta say, twin flame contract, you just be like, oh, fucking enough of this. I do, and I do, and I do for you people, and what am I gonna... I have very, very funny martyr stories because my father's side of the family. I mean, look, everybody martyrs every now and again, as I said, but I've really got some very, very, very funny martyr stories. But when we're looking at the archetype here, it's a divine family archetype. It is such a high, holy, spiritual power routing system. And all the greats had them. Oh, well, all the greats, I should say, had this archetype. I mean, martyrdom ain't fun. I get it. I'm just like, I'm a hedonist, right? I'm sort of the opposite of a martyr. Hedonism, like, is there a way that we can do this with, like, better music or something, right? It's just kind of woven into who I am archetypally. So let me read this, the shadow and the light, because the light part of it is so fucking sacred that it will help you through this twin flame contract, trust me. Being a Pisces moon, divine feminine, right? I can relate to this to an extent. The shadow attribute, addiction to self-pity. And if you're the Piscean in this, you know you have to keep an eye on your addictions as ways of medicating or avoiding your own empathic skill. Right, your ability to feel everybody's everything. Like if you're totally identifying with it as all it's oh my god, it's all my pain, it's all my pain. It's not all your pain if you're a divine sensitive, right? An energy sensitive, divine feminine, first waver, like pick your language, right? That's just comes with it. Kind of believe me as a Pisces moon. Well, right, at least I'm like Leo rising, Virgo sun, right? Like at least, but I mean, I know people who are Pisces sun, Pisces moon, and yeah, pray. Like pray. That's what I tell them, just keep praying, keep yourself not in the light all the time, but know that what you are feeling, you are healing. And as you love what rises, inner child work, anybody with Pisces placement should be doing some kind of research at least into inner child work, psychological, spiritual. There are many different modalities, techniques. But at the end of the day, you're going to find the inner child work. It's not a technique. It's a relationship, right? So that thing of addiction to self-pity, to move that, catch this, into the light attribute, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or to a cause. And if you are doing emotional healing work, it's not just transcendent nature of a service to oneself or a cause. It's to oneself, and that is a cause, that you are healing the entire energy field of planet Earth as you heal. As one heart heals, all hearts heal. That is the holographic nature of the illusion of separation, the quantum paradigm, call it what you want to call it. Oh, go ask a quantum physicist or a yogic master, right? Read the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Okay, so we get that powerful. Now, what's interesting is the mentor. Now, the mentor and the martyr, aside from the M alliteration, which I love, being a mark, the mentor archetype is the wisdom family. So we've got the divine and the wisdom. So right there, that doesn't necessarily preclude this being a romantic sexual, but I think we know it gets a little hinky weird when a mentor starts getting romantic sexual, particularly with a martyr, right? So it may not be that. It may not be that patterning or form, but you know your situation. If this is your reading, really in the next couple of minutes, you'll know whether or not this reading is for your twin flame contract. So let's read his shadow. The shadow attribute of the divine masculine mentor, inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master. You know, I've seen that in intimate relationships too, in some ways. Imparting false instruction, which is just a fucking nightmare, right? Like, you don't want them to make the sauce better than you, so you just give them the wrong ingredients and fuck with them. That's not good mentorship. What I love about this card, by the way, literally has the student under his wing, right? passing on wisdom, like grew a wing. He's just like, come on, hon, don't worry. I'll walk you through this, the mentor. Now, the light attribute, what the divine masculine can alchemize through this relationship, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. See, that's why this feels a little more like teacher-student, or in this case, mentor-student with this martyr. So be careful. We know that's an icky sticky, right? If the second chakra is in either party, if it's feeling like, or if particularly your solar plexus is nodding, the second chakra tells you there's something off in the one-on-one relationship. Think umbilical, right? The solar plexus means there's something off in your own honor code. Like something's not good here. Something's violating my sense of integrity, my sense of wholeness, my honor code, right? Not your consciousness, your conscience. You catch that? Interesting contract. What we're going to do now, now that we've got our two characters, if you will, down, our two parties, we are going to work with the Love Pack by Chuck Spezzano, divided into this deck. We're using the suit of problems to identify, well, what's the current problem going on in the twin flame contract? Because twin flames seem to always have a problem going on, don't they? And then the other half of the deck, the suit of luck, the suit of healing, and the suit of grace, to pull one of those cards to kind of see what would help with that, a piece of luck, a piece of healing, or a piece of grace. Both decks, really one deck, are the voices of the Ascended Masters of Twin Flame contract. So imagine everyone who's ever survived a twin flame, who chooses, once they've graduated planet Earth and the human experience, to reach back through time and space and help with completing these contracts in new and unique quantum ways that serve the divine plan. I'm down for that. Give me an Ascended Master lawyer, please. Nice deep breath. Here we go, my Pisceans. Exhale. Inhale. Still point. My Ascended Masters, please, what is the problem? What is the problem now with this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for January, February 2020, dealing with a divine feminine martyr and a divine masculine mentor, which is a little tricky to say. Please, what is the problem here? My masters, face down as always. I don't want to peek, particularly because I'm a Pisces moon. But masters, same contract, please. What is the piece of luck, the piece of healing, or the piece of grace that would help this problem, that would help resolve this problem for this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract? January, February 2020 are timeless with this divine feminine martyr and divine masculine mentor. Please, what's the other? The luck, the healing, the grace. Shall we? My Mer family. Mer. Push me, pull me is the problem. All right, well, so there's an attraction, but an attraction, but an attraction, but we know push me, pull me. We know push me, pull me. Now, even if that's not romantic sexual, that could be like, no, I really want to help you, but It's very Eddie Izzard. I don't want to say old Eddie Izzard. I love him. A classic Eddie Izzard. Right? Gas brake, gas brake, gas brake, push me, pull me. So there's some tension going on there, and doesn't a martyr love a push me, pull me? Gives him something to complain about both ways. I've been there, done that. Have the burnt t-shirt floating on air, however. And is that the luck suit? It certainly is the suit of luck. So look, floating on air. Sure, there are other interpretations for that energy other than falling in love and romance. Just none of them feel like they're going on here. Really be careful if you're the divine masculine mentor here. We are looking at an ethical quandary if you are in any way a professional mentor. Now, if it's just a life thing where you take people under your arm and help them, but you know, and yes, and I'll agree, right, the masters are coming in, well, you can float on air through service, and absolutely, I'm a Virgo, I totally get that, right? Like when you're really fulfilling your divine purpose, which then if both of them are doing that, right, particularly the martyr feeling the transcendent nature of giving oneself to a cause, right, even if that is their own healing, then that push me, pull me can be like, well, yeah, it's a lot of work, I don't know. It's like, I really want to do it, but I don't know. And that's indecision. That's a little bit different than a push me, pull me here. where this really feels more like I really, really want it and I really, really can't, or I'm really, really afraid. So spinning wheels, right? Push me, pull me. But with that floating on air, just be fucking careful ethically. I always, you know, walk the high road as best you can. Yes, the gods will have their way. If there's somebody that you are, by divine contract, supposed to be within that way, pray your brains out, communicate a lot with the person, but by all means, just be careful. What we're going to do, now by now, you should know if this is your reading, right? Like that, there's enough specificity, it was hard to say, I think that calls for a sip of coffee, enough specificity there to kind of set us up with a nice foundation of who these people are. For myself, if I was going to see this as my own reading, because I'm kind of not, I would totally be the Divine Masculine Mentor more than I would be the Divine Feminine Martyr in this one. But then again, like I said, I don't think I'm in any current twin flame contracts right now, but we'll see. Because we're going to take 3 cards, the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, and 3 cards, the Mythic Tarot, to get a simple timeline. One for the Divine Feminine, past, present, future. The Voice of the Goddess, half the universal energy. The other past, present, future, simple timeline for the Divine Masculine, using the Voice of the Gods, the other half of the universal energy. Cool, cool. So we really need to do some breathing for this one, shall we? Ground and center, my Pisceans. Nice deep breath. Still point. My goddesses, please. 3 cards, simple timeline, past, present, future. For this Divine Feminine Martyr archetype in this Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract for January 2020, January, February, timeless. Twin flame contract, where has she been? A card for the past. Where has she been in this Piscean twin flame contract? Where is she now? Like GPS, where is she now in this twin flame contract? And where is she headed? Not that it's written in stone, and if it is, but where is she headed in this twin flame contract? Understanding that there are variables within the quantum field. There is free will, even if it's just the story we tell as we do what we will inevitably do anyway. We've got that timeline laid out. Let's go straight into the Divine Masculine, then I'll start with her and move across. Ready? Deep breath. Still point. My gods. 3 cards, please. Simple timeline. Past, present, future. For this Divine Masculine Mentor archetype in this Piscean collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Twin flame contract for January, February 2020 or timeless. Please. My gods. Where has this Divine Masculine Mentor been in this contract? Where is he now in this contract? Where is he headed in this contract? There we go. Yeah, that was the right card. I wasn't sure. They were like, nope, that's the one. Hit my thumb twice. All right, here we go. For this Divine Feminine Martyr, keeping in mind the light that we're shooting for here is learning the transcendent nature of service. Underline that word, service to oneself or a cause. So where has she been? The Moon. So, you know, the chances of this being the Pisces, the Divine Feminine, pretty strong. If you are, here you go. The water element, right? Yemaya, the Moon. That the intuitive path is always there. The intuition is never gone. It just might not always be as tangible, visceral, right? That's why I tell people, tune into the body. There's a difference between emotion and intuition in terms of sometimes where it is in the body. It's like, I have a feeling different than I am feeling. Do you know what I mean? You can have an emotion about an intuition. Just saying. So there are times when the intuition is crystal clear, like when you stand literally at the ocean. I've done this at full moon at midnight. the path is right to your feet, no matter where you stand on the beach. The moonlight just highlights it. It's always there. It's always right under your feet. Intuition doesn't go away, but sometimes a cloud can pass before the moon and you don't see it so clearly. So whatever got you here, if you're the divine feminine martyr, it's like, get that the divine is pulling you forward. It's major arcana. It's not just like, oh, I had a hunch. No, there's something deeper here going on. And where are you right now? You got the Scorpio card. All right, there's a lot of water. This is a court card, Hecate. You know, Hecate, goddess of witches, everybody goes there first, and absolutely, but she's the crone of the maiden mother and crone of the threefold goddess, right? She's been with me since I was born, Hecate, in terms of the decisions that I have to make that the mind does not know how to, but the soul does, right? That's Scorpio, other people's resources, going deep, life-changing decision. So, you know, not to mention Scorpio energy, 8th house energy, mysticism, transformation, death and rebirth, right? The god Hades is indicated, the planet Pluto. There's a lot going on here I can feel. And particularly the martyr, you may very well be going through an incredibly painful emotional transformation going on here. But one that is making you better, no question. So don't doubt the path that got you here. Oh, how can you not doubt the path that got you here? Because when we suffer, we think, oh no, I must be doing something wrong. And it's like, no, not if we are healing emotional baggage, not just in our own cell tissue, right? Not just from our own lives, ancestral patterns going back to what? Adam and Eve? How far back do you want to fucking go back with that, right? Clearing out emotional pain, because you know what? I'm sorry, my ancestors didn't have access to Oprah. I didn't have access to all of this information, right? Oh my God, not to mention I'm like Italian and German and Irish and Scottish and, you know, Sicilian, right? Italian, Sicilian, Mediterranean passion, right? That's what the soul incarnates to do, is to heal all this stuff as a divine feminine. So, you know, the transformation that's going on here, it is all part of your path. Where is she headed? Praise God's hallelujah. Ace of Flames, a new passion, a new creation, something, I wouldn't call it a distraction, but I would call it a new beginning, right? So from this transformative Scorpio, death and transformation, remember, even the death card's only card number 13 out of like, what, 21, 22, depending on the deck. Coming into the Ace of Flames, creation, brand new inspiration, brand new desire. Very Phoenix Rising. Who's a friend of mine? Phoenix Red Hawk. Been on her show. Go watch the vids. They're in my my back catalog. Let's look at this Divine Masculine Mentor, because that was a whole... Oh my God, that had a whole side of fries with it, didn't it? Ended with a side of fries. Let's have a look-see-dooksy here for the Divine Masculine Mentor. Where has he been? Well, interesting. She ends with the Ace of Flames. He starts with the Ace of Cups, Aphrodite, a love offer. Now that's interesting for a mentor. So perhaps the offer was not necessarily voiced or acted upon as I tune to this, but that sense of, oh, right, you know, that ace, that, right, the heart quickens a little bit. Interesting. Where is he now in this? Ooh. Ten of Wands. Now, the Ten of Wands in this deck, really in most tarot, it's such a burden, but it starts off with like the explosion of the ace just happens to be showing here in the Divine Feminine in her future. So that desire to start something, why does it always have to be womp, womp, womp? It's like such a Debbie Downer, right? This is Jason and the Argonauts. They retrieved the Golden Fleece, but you know, the ship is broken and fuck, right? Like for a journey, for an adventure, it's not a very, very happy card. To really see that as a completion of a cycle of desire, that though we start here with, oh, that's an interesting way of saying it, my gods. What might have started as this emotional connection might have been too hot not to cool down. Might have accelerated into, let's just say, a full-blown attraction that sort of burned out, or somebody got burned. I have to look. Where are we headed here? Four of Swords, introspection. If this is romantic, sexual, I feel like it went there. I mean, is this a Me Too situation? Were there more than ethical boundaries crossed? Were there legal, physical boundaries crossed here? In which case we are looking at sexual assault. Honestly, not feeling that. Would that be part of a twin flame contract? I'm not touching that with a 10-foot wand. That is beyond the work that I do on Facebook. Facebook or YouTube or any social media. That's a much different situation. After all, I'm a spiritual counselor, not a psychological therapist. But what triggers that is the depth of this divine feminine right here with this 10 of Wands. If there is a feeling of regret going on here, perhaps things went somewhere it shouldn't have. Although I feel like the initial impulse was a good one, was a heart one, was an emotional one. Now, if this is not that, and by the way, we still have more cards to hit the table to clarify this. These last two, there are only two left, but they're both going to be really, really helpful for the healing aspect of this. Whatever the form of this is, keep in mind, Martyr, that there is a service that you are performing for yourself here first and foremost, but that it has its quantum repercussions. And I mean in a good way. Repercussions is probably not the best word for that. But the healing work that you're doing is causal in the sense that it is going to affect the quantum field in terms of your own transformation and healing. And really, you're going to walk away from this renewed. But with the Four of Swords, that introspection, contemplation, meditation, prayer for the mentor here, I'm just very concerned that it follows this 10 of Wands, that something either went down or that there was a rapid completion of the element of fire somehow, a desire. Because it's just funny, she's got the ace, he's got the 10. This is her future. This is his present. So I don't know. That feels a little weird. And like I said, just with the martyr and the mentor, watch it. Just be very, very careful. Look, boundaries are tricky. Keep in mind, our great-grandparents, if you talk to them about boundaries, they would think you were talking about the property lines, you know, in between them and their neighbors, right? The idea of psychological boundaries is not ancient. I mean, energy fields and all that stuff. Is that what we have called it? You're in my space? No. That's like pretty much my generation. Right? I was born in '68. That kind of language probably didn't hit the vernacular until maybe the mid to late '80s. Boundaries, and then the '90s, they were everywhere, right? So we're in a growing, evolving place, absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn to the higher selves of all involved for one card so that the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine here can get a whisper of love. I love this deck. It just sometimes comes right out and says, do this, right? I don't tell people what to do. The cards do. You have free will, all right? So let's really take a nice deep breath. My eye keeps hitting that 10 of Wands. It's like got what he wanted, but I don't know what that means. So here we go. Nice deep breath. Exhale. Inhale. Oh, the higher selves of all involved, please join me in the still point. A whisper of love, please, for this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract. January, February 2020 are timeless. Please, for this Divine Feminine Martyr and this Divine Masculine Mentor, regardless of gender here, what higher selves of all involved is the whisper of love? What guidance, what grace can you give to this Piscean collective twin flame? Union of hearts. There is a connection of love here that defies explanation. Yeah. So I'm going to go with the love part of this. It's so hard to not see this through the rose-colored lens of romance with this card on the table. But I'm going to say, even if this is completely non-sexual, completely non-romantic, I can feel this as parent-child going either way. I can really feel this going parent-child either way. I could see this going literally in a professional situation where there is a mentor and a martyr, but there is this element of love there that if it's not inappropriate, there's a connection here that it defies explanation. Which is probably a past life thing too. Can you imagine somebody was your parent in a past life and maybe not such a healthy parent, and in this life they're your boss? Like, at least they're paying you to be there and you can go home, right? You know, you can go back to your own space. Like, I could see that happening. Something like that. There, the union of hearts, there is a connection of love that defies explanation. And do remember, just because it's a twin flame contract doesn't mean you can't love each other, but you just can't give each other the kind of love that you want from them, because you have to give it to yourself. That's how this fucker works. That's how the contract is written. I didn't make them that way. Believe me, I would have never, never agreed to such a thing, and yet here I am. What we're going to do is we're going to end with the Healing Mantra deck. Thank you, Matt KAHN, for making this deck. Thank you, Hay House. I'm not getting any money from them, by the way, doing this. I promote shit that works for me. There, you want to be a spiritual teacher? Teach by example and share the shit that works for you. For people who are interested, like, get a YouTube channel, because ain't nobody coming here because you're clockwork oranging them to watch it, right? So let's ask the Ascended Masters, who gave us this push me, pull me thing, which has been here throughout, yet with this floating on air. Oh my God, this feels a little torturous with that. So, since the contract is about teaching yourself or learning how to heal, learning how to give yourself the love that the other can't, we're going to ask the Ascended Masters to talk through this healing mantra deck. So one side of the card is the name of the mantra, which is good, so I can look it up in the book. It's teeny tiny, takes a minute. The other, the mantra itself, that regardless of if you are the Divine Feminine or the Divine Masculine, if you work the mantra the best that you can, it will help you heal, right? It will help you heal your part of it, fulfilling your role in the contract. And just keep in mind, sometimes the only way to fulfill your contract in a twin flame is to survive it, which means to walk away. And because you have to learn how to heal yourself anyway. That's what they're about. You with me? Nice deep breath. Let's get this on the table. Here we go. Still point. My Ascended Masters of Twin Flame Contracts, please, oh please, oh please. One card. What is the perfect healing mantra for this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign Twin Flame Contract for January, February 2020? We've got a Divine Feminine Martyr here and a Divine Masculine Mentor. There's Floating on Air. There's Push Me, Pull Me. There's a connection of love here that defies explanation with the union of hearts. So please, what is the ultimate, best, perfect, truly helpful healing mantra for this Piscean collective? Well, here we go. What'd you get? Processing grief. My losses prove how deeply I loved. This very well may be a forbidden love situation. Just not the right time, not the right place. Doesn't mean it's never going to play itself out, but right now, because it's those damn hybrids, there is a hybrid twin flame soulmate contract, but they're incredibly rare. They're like fucking unicorn rare. And I can't tell you if that's what this is, because they're not going to tell you that anyway, because that's what? Mysticism, right? That's the divine plan and play. But for now, the healing of yourselves, remember, this is for end of January, you know, month of February, or timeless whenever you come across it, that to be processing grief, my losses prove how deeply I loved. And honey, I know. I mean, I'm no longer afraid of my grief. I've embraced it so thoroughly and have cried so hard that I know I shifted something in the quantum, because I get that grief is just love that doesn't know how, it's love that doesn't know how to express itself, because the object, the target, if you will, of the love is gone, either through distance, death, or divorce, right? It sucks. Absolutely sucks, but it is some of the most transforming shit you can go through. Processing grief. Look, nobody said we had to enjoy the divine plan. No one said we had to enjoy the twin flame contracts. We just have to survive them, and here's a hint how. Processing grief. My losses prove how deeply I loved. When grief is processed, you are able to notice the maturity you gained, even when losing the people, places, and things that once defined your sense of self. So it's not just people, right? Let me keep going. As you process grief, you are able to celebrate how deeply you committed to love instead of holding a grudge towards those you left or couldn't love you back. Once grief is fully processed, it can ignite a deeper commitment to love. You know that your alignment with Source is not a matter of what comes or goes. It is determined by how much of yourself you are willing to share. This mantra is ideal for opening back up to love, rebuilding trust, and addressing heartache. And with a martyr and a mentor in a perhaps forbidden situation ethically, these two may not have even kissed. If this is romantic sexual, but you know, they're saying do the overview. I'll pop up the picture, we'll do the overview and see what else I get from it as I go over it. Oh, please, I need a sip of coffee. Again, I'm so glad I made a large cup. Potion Witch. Please breathe with me. There's no alcohol in that coffee. Here we go. Still point. Magic clap. Bam. We're starting with the Divine Feminine Martyr archetype in the shadow, addiction to self-pity. With that processing grief card, my darling, the mantra, my losses prove how deeply I loved. Get yourself a nice big terry cloth towel and cry that out. Allow those emotions and those chemicals to move through you and your breath, transforming it for everyone, which is the light attribute of the martyr, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. That's light work for you right there. And with the moon in her recent past, with the card of Hecate there in her present moment, and the card of the Ace of Flames in the future, very easy to doubt one's path, but no, there is life-changing decisions, transformations, transitions going on here in this contract for her that really brings her quite, I don't want to say literally rising from the ashes, that means you actually have to literally be on fire, but that processing of grief here, there is something transformative here, and I get the push me, pull me of not knowing what to do, of wanting to make it work but can't make it work, at least not for now, because of some ethical issues and perhaps a forbidden love issue. Jumping over to the divine masculine mentor here, the shadow attribute, inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instruction. That's where the ethical part of this goes a little awry for me, but I could see a martyr really taking that to an extreme as well, that in terms of a twin flame contract, the transformative fire aspect here is very strong, but to move him into the light attribute of passing on wisdom and refining a student's character, that a certain amount of discipline, of clarity, of ethical boundaries, fairness, decency, and wisdom, because it is a wisdom family of archetype archetype. Sorry. There's a lot going on here. In his timeline, Ace of Cups, this might have started very purely, very innocently, but then moving into that Ten of Wands, you know, that sense of overwhelm, of something too hot not to cool down, of something being consumed all in a very short amount of time, from an ace to a 10, from a past to a present. But then leading to the Four of Swords, perhaps it does cool down, calmer heads are provided here, things are contemplated, but there definitely feels like a withdrawal from the contract, at least temporarily. With the union of hearts here from the higher selves, there is a connection of love that defies explanation, definitely registers here for me. a past life thing. Like I said it before, like this could very easily be like a parent in one life, a boss in the next, something along those lines with an authority figure playing this out again. But as I look up to that push me, pull me with floating on air, it's like there is love here. That's the kind of suckiest part of it. And of course, the mantra, processing grief, my losses prove how deeply I loved, really sets this in frame. And now I realize looking at this, I did not put down the 2 Healing with the Angel Oracles, so we're going to do that next, but let's clap us back out of this. I apologize. That's intense for me to lose a place because they're lined up in an arc. I just skipped right over the Healing with the Angels Oracle. Let's get this now. We're going to get 2. 1 for the Divine Feminine, 1 for the Divine Masculine. And let's have the grace of hope that all of this was part of the divine plan. That there's something the angels wanted to say last. Nice deep breath. Still point. My angels, 2 cards, please. The final word. Usually the masters are last. Here you go, my angels. The final word. Healing with the Angel Oracle card, please. 2. 1 for the Divine Feminine, 1 for the Divine Masculine. In this Piscean Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus Sign, Twin Flame contract, January, February 2020 are timeless. Please, for the Divine Feminine. Bottom of the deck. 1 for the Divine Masculine. Fuck. Soulmate. She's got soulmate. He's got spiritual growth. Now I see why they wanted to save that for last. Game changer. Look, there is no twin flame card in this Doreen Virtue deck. So when I see the card soulmate, I immediately think soul contract, right? Not necessarily soulmate only. Different types of contract. But so there's definitely, this is a past life thing. This is a past life thing, and he's got the angel of spiritual growth. That's what you both have to work with individually. Yes, makes sense with the Scorpio card, right? You are healing something from another life. You don't have to be a martyr of it. Just find the transcendent nature here. And for the mentor here, if you are a spiritual mentor, oh my good God, again, please watch it. Really go into the meditation, the contemplation for sure, but that makes sure you are growing as a result of yourself, because once the mentor stops learning, stops growing, they're dead in the water. I say that about being a witch. Once I'm done learning, I'm dead in the water. Might as well hang up the pointy hat, right? Well, oh my God, what a fucking read. May the Piscean Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in their twin flame contracts, January, February 2020 and beyond, to heal, to grow, to help heal the collective, to feel it, to heal it, to evolve, to become the best that we can be, clearing the emotional pain, processing the grief if necessary, not just our own, but for all of life, little by little, for the well-being of all. And so it is. I love you all so much, my Mer family. My last reading for a few days. I am going to take a couple of days off, but not really seeing clients, getting ready for InBulk February 2nd. Going to do a little live streaming thing in my Facebook group. There's a link for that in the box below. So wishing you the very best and the very blessed of what's left of Yuletide here. But right, because it goes from Yule into InBulk Tide. So from my soul to yours, my Mer family. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed as I sign off. Hail. Farewell and blessed be.